Welcome back. Today, we're doing a deep dive into what might be the most, well, audacious claim to come out of CES 2026.
Oh, you have to be talking about Donut Lab.
The Finnish startup, exactly. The buzz was just unavoidable.
It was a massive shockwave. They announced what they called a production-ready, all-solid-state battery, and the metrics they were throwing around.
Just unbelievable.
I mean, truly generational. 400 watt-hours per kilogram specific energy, a 5-minute charge times 0 to 100 amp, get this, 100,000 cycle life.
100,000.
Yeah.
And it's free of lithium and cobalt.
Right. It's basically the holy grail checklist.
Right.
If it's true, companies like Toyota, QuantumScape, they're obsolete.
So our mission for you is to test these claims. We have to see if they hold up against, basic physics and corporate reality.
Okay, so let's start with the physics, because this is where it really starts to look strange. You essentially have two ways to store energy, right?
Batteries and capacitors.
Exactly. Batteries store energy chemically. That gives you high density, lots of range, but they charge slowly and they wear out.
And capacitors are electrostatic. They're incredibly fast, last practically forever, but they hold, well, almost no energy in comparison.
And Donut Lab is trying to claim the best of both. The energy of a battery, but the power and lifespan of a capacitor.
So let's break that down. Why can't you just, force feed a normal energy-dense battery in 5 minutes? What's physically stopping that?
You're literally tearing it apart from the inside. Forcing energy in that fast creates immense heat and internal stress. The materials expand, contract, and then they just crack.
And you're lucky to get, maybe 1,500 cycles before it seriously degrades.
If that. So them claiming 100,000 cycles with that charge speed, that's capacitor behavior, not battery behavior.
And here's maybe the biggest tell for me, the operating temperature. They claim it works perfectly from minus 30 Celsius all the way up to 100 degrees Celsius.
That is the exact fingerprint of an electrostatic capacitor.
Totally. Chemical reactions hate extreme temperatures. They get sluggish or go into thermal runaway.
Right, they're incredibly sensitive. An electric field, though, it doesn't really care how hot or cold it is. But, and this is the big but, if it is a capacitor, getting 400 watt-hours per kilogram is
impossible.
It would require a material that violates the known limits of material science. The physics just isn't there.
So if the science doesn't work, you have to assume the answer lies somewhere else. You have to start looking at the corporate side.
And that's where you find the rebranding strategy. It's fascinating. Our sources strongly suggest Donut Lab just repackaged a technology from an affiliated company called Nordic Nano.
And what does Nordic Nano sell? Let me guess.
They market an electrostatic bipolar capacitor, and when you pull up the spec sheets...
They're almost identical to the Donut Lab battery.
Almost identical. It's a deliberate terminological shift. Why call it a low-range capacitor when you can hijack all the hype and venture capital around the phrase solid-state battery?
And then there's the question of validation. This whole thing feels very self-contained.
It is. The corporate structure is built around the Lehtomäki family. The CEO of Donut Lab, Marko Lehtomäki, his brother is Tuomo Lehtomäki,
who is the CEO of Verge Motorcycles.
And Verge is the OEM validation they keep citing. It's one brother confirming the other brother's tech. There is no verifiable independent proof that we can find.
So you have this tiny team with secret funding claiming they've achieved what giants with billions of dollars haven't in decades. It's just a staggering disparity.
And that disparity leads us to our verdict. Given the impossible physics and the corporate questions, we have to classify the Donut Lab battery as a high-risk speculative claim.
It's a supercapacitor, isn't it?
Yeah.
A very generously specified supercapacitor.
All the technical evidence points that way. It's not a breakthrough chemical battery.
Okay, so here's the final thought for you to mull over. Donut Lab claimed this perfect battery was available now. What happens to an industry when you announce a revolutionary product that might not even be real?
You risk the Osborne effect.
Exactly. Do consumers and even manufacturers just stop buying the legitimate existing EVs we have today? Do they wait for Holy Grail that might never actually show up? And does that waiting, in the end, actually damage the entire clean tech sector? That's the unintended consequence of hype.